There you go. Hi. Good morning, sweetheart. Hi, here you go. Here you go. Good morning. Yes, I had picked up Stripe. You smell him? Yay, I've got Ruby back. And when Don goes into Raleigh today, he gets to drive Jules. We're back to 2 Teslas. Oh, hi guys. Good morning. The birds are chirping and all happy. I got Tuck's man over here. Hey, bud. Hey, buddy. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. 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 Good boy. Good boy, Panther. Don just walked down there. He's going to read his meter under the house. It's the 1st of the month. So you know what that means. Let's get you back in the safe spot. Come on, let's get you back in your safe spot. I don't care which end you go up. But probably this one. Come on. Oh, you're going to go under there now. Ah. Here's Ruby girl. Good morning, Ruby. And it's warm in here. I feel heat. This is my view this morning. Pretty full traffic. Our time is good if we don't lose time across town. So I updated the app on my iPhone 13 and on Don's Google Pixel 6 last night, the Tesla app, so that we could see charge your non-Tesla. Basically, you pick, you press on the account picture and then scroll all the way to the right and you'll see it. There are currently, according to the app, no magic docks yet in North Carolina. There was a destination charger listed in Winston-Salem and in Myrtle Beach where you could charge a non-Tesla. Interesting times. I understand Kyle's dad plugged in yesterday up in New York and made a video, so that's cool. Don and I are ready for a road trip to the first magic dock. Even if we can't, you know, charge a non-Tesla, just out of curiosity's sake. So we were hoping for a little, you know, short road trip somewhere in North Carolina, but not yet. And the guy behind me is doing a lousy job of paying attention to where they are going. They've basically done one of those hard stops twice in a row now. They really need to watch it. I continue to think that the Magic Dock rollout, the opening up of the supercharger network is a positive thing, and there's, you know, a couple of reasons for that, or several reasons for that, and one of which is I want Tesla to stay profitable, and making revenue from the supercharger network will be a part of that going forward. And being profitable is more than just about the stock price. It's also about letting Tesla do whatever endeavors they feel they need to do to progress the goals that they had set forth and any new goals that they want to add. And I guess that includes the Tesla bot and other such endeavors. But another part of it is that, you know, Tesla owners, quite a few of them have been, well, we'll be waiting longer and we're going to have to deal with these cars that can't back up or pull in or whatever to the superchargers properly and possibly block supercharger lanes. And, you know, all of these concerns, which are legitimate concerns, but maybe not the attitude that some have posted along with the concerns. But the thing that I think offsets that is the fact that they're planning on adding so many more supercharger locations. That's good for Tesla drivers, right? The more locations out there, the more options. I mean, we went from North Carolina, when we got Ruby, basically you could get across the state, but it might be a little tight. There are enough superchargers to navigate if you were careful. To now there's one, I dare you to go more than 150 miles and not have a supercharger to charge at anywhere in North Carolina. Even probably, you can say that even for the Outer Banks now. So I think with this increased rollout, you know, by the end of 2024, where they're talking about doubling the size of the supercharger network, I don't think you're going to be able to go more than 75 miles in many instances without finding a supercharger. So the other cars on the network, the increased revenue stream, they're helping with the build out now. And I just think that's going to offset any potential negatives. And are there going to be a few hiccups? Will we see on Twitter somebody post somebody blocking spaces or pulled in wrong? Sure we will. Will we see that sometimes with Tesla drivers? So yeah, we're going to see that. Will they, you know, blow up the one or two examples of somebody being uninformed or worse, not caring about their fellow man? They will, and they'll blow it up and they'll make you, you know, if they want to make it seem like it's a bad thing, they're going to make it seem like this is happening everywhere. It will be happening some, but it will not probably be at the level that the posters of those things really want you to think that it is. So I think this is a time to stay calm and charge on. He's got 2 minutes. Well, the heater is definitely working, so all is good this morning with the repair, as best as I can tell. Ruby had better not ever leave me cold again. Well, it's a good thing I looked at where this doctor is that I'm going to this afternoon. I think I now have to be there at 1:30, I want to say. I can go look and Duke my chart and confirm the time. But anyway, it is about as far north in Raleigh as you can get, and it still be Raleigh. It's basically up the Wake Forest. I don't know how that can have a Raleigh address, but it's, wow, that is well over an hour from, I mean, it's 30 minutes from my current location, and I'm in the northeast corner of Raleigh. So how this place has a Raleigh address and be all the way up there is just, anyway, well, good to know. So I'm not like leaving thinking I'm only going to need 45 minutes and instead I need like an hour and 10 minutes or something. Okay, I handled really important business over here, like changing the pictures on my Apple Watch face to St. Patrick's Day black cat pictures instead of Valentine's Day black cat pictures. Thankfully, they're in my favorites from last year, and it was pretty easy to find. Been meaning to do that for a few days. Now, if I would fix the broken thumbnail that I have when I get home, that would be good too before it gets pulled back any farther. Yeah, this is the one street where I wouldn't mind if they took out at least some of the Bradford pears. The ones that were mutilated by trying to keep the power line safe. And they're, you know, they're just not that pretty once the middle part of them's been cut out. But they're not all messed up like that on that street. So, but maybe they could start by removing the ones that have been pruned in an irregular shape and replacing them with, I think red buds were one of the options. And red buds are really pretty. They're not as dramatically pretty, but they are really pretty. I need to look up, there were like 5 different trees they would send you that were all flowering. And of course, all of those trees are fairly slow growing. I noticed the Yoshino cherries out front of the old Fuquay Harris Teeter were starting to bloom today, and that is just way, way early. They usually bloom a couple of days after Easter, depending on what day Easter is. Easter's not super late this year, but it is later than normal, or later, you know, it's not conflicting with, it's in April, not March. March is early. Sometimes it sort of conflicts with being really close to St. Patrick's Day from a decorating perspective. So this year it's far enough out that it's like a distinct happening in April versus earlier. Anyway, they were talking on the news last night. Don and I watched the weather on the 11 o'clock news right before going to bed, and said we're 3 weeks ahead on pollen starting to come down, and it coming down early does not mean less pollen overall. It actually means more pollen, more weeks with pollen. So that was just great. I immediately reached over and took my Flonase because I had sneezed right before then 3 times really hard, and I was pretty miserable. Like I said, I really don't want to be taking that stuff, but there's consequences to me sneezing a lot during the day. It's really kind of rough on me, so I've got to weigh the pros and the cons of taking it. Yeah, you know, it's not clear which is safer, like Claritin or Zyrtec, or taking the inhaler Flonase. Flonase actually has fluoride, a form of fluoride in it, and one can argue whether inhaling that is really good or not. I'd rather not need any of them, but you do what you gotta do. I want to whine. I'm a spoiled North Carolina Tesla diva, and it's only 51 degrees and there's no sun and there's a little wind.
Yep.
I'm spoiled.
Yes, you are.
It is going to get up to 70 today, but we'd have to wait for a while, and the sun is supposed to be mostly cloudy, so it is what it is. A pretty red bud tree is blooming. I'll never forget the photographic shot I missed, and I pulled up here to play Pokemon about 3 years ago, and there was a red cardinal in the tree at peak bloom time. Just gorgeous red bird set against the purple flowers, and I wasn't fast enough with my camera. And I've looked for that shot to reoccur hundreds of times since in the spring, and no, not happening, not yet. But I'll keep looking. Hey, bunny. Hi. You're the first bunny of the spring. You were so quiet over there, I almost didn't see you. Here's Sister Nature Girl. You were giving me the death stare. I don't like it.
No, I was giving you the I'm dying stare.
Why are you dying?
Because I have to walk up this hill, and I'm not sitting on the sofa eating donuts and drinking my coffee. Watching YouTube.
This is a thing I commonly hear. I thought you guys should hear it too.
I don't like exercise. The only thing I like about exercise is it's over.
Oh, but you're out here with your pretty girl, and the birds are chirping, and
yeah,
you don't have to work on the computer today. I better clarify that, right? Because he might do power washing.
Walk outside. Donuts. Exercise. I don't know.
You sure do dream about donuts a lot. Are you sure you're not related to Homer Simpson?
Well, me and Homer, we could be tight. That's right. Yeah, I'm admitted I'm a sugar addict. I have to fight every day.
Don and I are down by the ball field 3 fence picking up a bunch of trash, and he just flew, but there was a bluebird sitting on top of the box. That is a really good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least they conveniently left us a bag empty along with all their paper plates and stuff. It's full just from walking just that little bit of the fence line. The guys are digging a hole over here this morning. Hopefully whatever they're doing is confined to that spot. There's a fire hydrant and a few other utilities things over there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with all those cars. I have no idea what that is, but yeah, they're parked. Yeah, maybe. Certainly could be. I don't think there's any rules against doing that over here. As a matter of fact, on the bus thing, other side over there, it's a park and ride. No problems parking and taking the bus. We picked up so much trash, Don had to empty his bag so we could fill it again.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. And this is only lap 2, and I'm like, I feels like we've done 4 laps already. All that extra bending over with the weight vest on. Wear a person out. Well, these cars in this line here have a name and a phone number, and some of them are not in really great shape, so it's odd. Well, they're just not new. Donnie?
Yeah?
I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to walk tomorrow or feel up to walking tomorrow or not.
Because of your foot surgery.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, sweetie pea, if you can't walk tomorrow, I'll commiserate with you and I won't walk either.
Donnie? You don't have to walk, but I'll find some other yard chore, some hard work, something labor intensive for you to do my bidding.
Don't worry about my not doing something.
Well, Johnny's actually got Don's ear to get back together for a soldering session for his robot stuff. Yep, wire up his robot. So whenever Johnny's ready to do that, might be today, might be tomorrow. No exaggeration, we've both been over to pick up trash a minimum of 30 times each today. It could have been as much as 50.
I don't know.
We are wore out. That was definitely extra workout today.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on my way to my doctor's appointment. Don is on his way to pick up Johnny, and all kitties are currently doing well and accounted for. I had to pick up Tux and put him on the platform. He came out of the carport and was coming to visit me, and I wanted to make sure he wasn't near the car. Getting him interested in dry chow for a few minutes worked well. It's so pretty. Thank you for blooming in my yard. So 24 miles to my exit, and then a few turns after that. It's 65 and mostly sunny, partly cloudy, something like that out here. It's not the beautiful blue sky we've seen on some other days, but it's far from completely overcast either. I feel really lucky to have this outer belt line to get from Fuquay up to the Wake Forest area. It really does take a lot of the traffic and headache out of the drive. It's still a, longish drive, but it's, this is really nice out here for autopilot. Hands on the wheel, pay attention, and let the car do basically all of the work. And I am on time with a 10-minute cushion, so my stress level is good, minus the fact that I'm thinking about the shot. Yeah, the worst part of this will most likely be the shot. The white truck there is a F-150 Lightning. I made eye contact with the driver. We both smiled. Well, it's a pretty busy parking lot over here, and there's some construction on the other side. I have the time, so I'm circling one time to see where I might be willing to put Ruby. Parking lots can be so stressful. They don't look like they're doing anything right there, so hopefully she's fine. There was a couple of other spots, but they were under trees and there were some branches on the ground, and I didn't want to risk that, so hopefully we're good. Well, Dr. Stamey is really nice. It's a little hard to walk in and meet somebody for the first time that's got a cut on you right then and there, but really nice guy, and I liked his nurse, Suzanne, as well. So he's not too worried about it. He said Candace over at Carey Dermatology really removed most of it, and he would be very surprised if they even found any of the mole left, but he removed enough of it so that I should not have to worry about it, and they will look at the pathology again, but again, he said that he's not too worried. So if he's not worried about it, I'm not going to be worried about it either. Suzanne packed it up a little more than they did at Candace's office, probably because this is a little deeper. They were amazed at how well I had healed up. Like, they almost couldn't even tell I'd had the biopsy done there, and they did remove a good bit at Carey Dermatology because it was basically gone visually afterwards. So they're not expecting me to have any trouble this time either. They want me to send them a picture in 2 weeks and come back and look at it in person in 4 weeks. So, okay, I can do that. And I'm remembering now that last time, because it hurt more than expected after the lidocaine wore off, that I couldn't put my sneakers on for 2 or 3 weeks. Some of you will remember that too. So I think I'm going to be in these wide open-toed, well, wide, very generous toe area Crocs for a while, and probably for a few days just walking the track where there's not a lot of elevation, and I can quit if it starts to hurt, etc., etc. So she definitely said to stay off it today, not do any walking on it, not excess walking on it. I don't know if I'll try to stand and work on my Legos or not. See, I've got about 6 hours before the lidocaine wears off, and it starts to hurt probably. So anyway, I'll try to be a good girl and listen to my body, and that's the best I can offer at this point. So it's like an hour back home, and I'm going to head out now. Don and Johnny are in the garage working on his robot. The cat camera out there has gone off with not cats on the video. So anyway, I hope that's going well for them and they're having a good time working on it. The traffic coming back in has just been very congested, and it's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, I realize Investor Day stuff is starting. I'm trying to get home. I'm 5 to 10 away. Maybe they won't start on time.
So we got the basic orientation right. We mounted the switch and we drilled a hole in it so that we could put 2 wires on one of the lugs. That way we didn't have to have a big blob of solder. But unfortunately the black wire, we're going to have to take 3 wires and twist them together and solder them. And so it will be a little bit of a blob. We're trying to do a neat job.
So I came home just in time for the big test.
That's right.
Okay, way cool.
Whoa. Oh, there it is. Do those other ones, Johnny. Turn the wheel motors on. Woo, yeah, baby, we're good. It has passed the smoke test.